Now on CoastTV News.
Bike Fest takeover.
We're excited to have him on board.
With OC Jams backing out, a local company wants to take control.
Habitat Hope.
It's just a wonderful thing to have them have their own space.
How Sussex County Habitat for Humanity is helping local families build more than just walls.
Vietnam, 50 years later, 3 veterans right here at home reflect on the fall of Saigon.
This is CoastTV News at 6.
Black April Remembered, the emotional accounts from Delmarva Vietnam veterans on the fall of Saigon 50 years later. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our News at 6. We begin tonight focused on the past. It's been 50 years since the Vietnam War.
50 years ago today, the city of Saigon fell to the communist North Vietnam. 10 years earlier, in 1965, direct military involvement began in the Cold War in the effort to keep South Vietnam free. As Coast TV's Matt Pensick shows us, the images of April 30th, 1975 and the war experience still evoke a lot of emotion from Vietnam veterans right here on Delmarva.
April 30th, 1975, it is known as Black April. The day tanks from North Vietnam broke through the barricade of the South Vietnam Presidential Palace, symbolizing the finality of over 20 years of American involvement.
The victorious communists who forced the city's surrender said the capital of South Vietnam henceforth will be known as Ho Chi Minh City.
Tom Weiker's Army experience in Vietnam was from 1966 to 1969. His converted long neck garage is a constant reminder of his time in the war and that fateful day in 1975.
I was hurt. I was hurt because what we kind of protected and what we kind of were fighting for is now being pushed to these guys, the Vietnamese.
Like Weiker, Milford's Dave Kernock's time in the war had ended by 1975. He was stationed at Dover Air Force Base when Saigon fell.
I felt bad for the South Vietnamese, what they were going to go through because of the North Vietnamese, but it ended the killing.
The chaos of a hastily arranged evacuation in the 24 hours that preceded came to symbolize the entirety of the American experience.
You knew full well that the North Vietnamese were going to take over South Vietnam because you had the Russians helping them, you had the Chinese helping them. So it was a waste of time.
For Georgetown's Harvey Walls, fresh off his 1971 graduation at Sussex Central, there was optimism when he left Delmarva for Southeast Asia.
I can remember calling home from Fort Monmouth and telling Dad, I had him on the phone, and I said, well, I just got my orders for Vietnam. He said, well, is there anything we can do to get you out of it? I said, I don't know why, I volunteered to go. He said, well, your mother's really going to like that, man.
When Weicker arrived in South Vietnam, it was a shocking greeting.
And I always remember getting off because as we're getting off, we're walking by and there's other troops going on and they're yelling, hey, you're going to die, sucker. So they went on the plane, we went on our way. So I always get around, I couldn't even spell the word helicopter, and here all of a sudden I'm flying in these things. I wasn't a pilot, I was a gunner.
I ended up being a sniper.
I worked in a military intelligence communications center.
They had different roles in the war, but similar experiences when they returned home.
And I don't understand how they treated us when we got back. They told us on the plane, inside of the airport, there was a thrift store. Get out of your military uniform as fast as you can. They have shoes, they have shirts.
And then other people just didn't respect you. Maybe I don't even know what I expected of other people to do. But I mean, even at the local VFW, which was up in Holmes, PA, I sat at the bar and some guy yelled over, hey, you guys are number baby killers. I just bought a round for everyone in the bar and I left. Myself and my buddy, we both left. But that's the welcome we got when we came back. Zero.
Change occurs over 50 years. The U.S. now has diplomatic and trade relations with Vietnam, and the Vietnam War veterans getting more attention and respect than they did then. On a day that changed history 50 years ago, the lives of Harvey Walls,
50 years goes by quick.
Tom Weicker,
Never went back there. I just had no interest.
and Dave Kernock
To this day, I still have nightmares about things that happened.
were forever changed after their time in the war. For Coast TV, I'm Matt Pensick.
Some powerful storytelling there. This brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, what was the biggest failure after the Vietnam War?
Let's take a look at the updated results from last new out. It has gone up. 94% have said veteran treatment, just like those gentlemen shared. The way they were treated when they got home was, I would say, unforgivable.
Yeah, it really was. You know, a tough situation for them for sure. Jack Burke of Milton says, treated poorly when I returned home from overseas during this time. All vets, regardless of where they served.
Thank you for this comment and for your service, Jack, and the gentleman we featured in that piece. To all of our veterans, we appreciate you.
And if you haven't voted yet, you still can. You can go to coasttv.com, use our Coast TV mobile app. Also remember, on coasttv.com, if you want to roll through that story again, that's where that will live. Moving on now to Ocean City, where the former OC Bike Fest promoter, Chase Michael, is in jail for violating bail conditions. He is accused of writing thousands of dollars in bad checks regarding a motorcycle event in Florida. According to Ocean City's tourism director, Michael's mother says Bike Fest is too big of a task to do by herself, which is why OC Jams is stepping down from promoting that event.
With OC Jams out, a local business called Kickin' Events, they want the Bike Fest contract. Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zapay is live in Ocean City, and Kevin, Bike Fest brings a lot of money to OC.
Maddie, just like cruising in Ocean City, Bike Fest brings millions of dollars to the town, which is why officials are making sure this event doesn't stay in the garage. Now, according to the Tourism and Business Development Director in Ocean City, he's confident that Kickin' Events will pick up the contract, and OC Bike Fest will return as scheduled this fall.
We're excited to have him on board, and we're here to help all the way.
The Ocean City Council will be inviting Kickin' Events to the next meeting so that they could discuss further their plans for Bike Fest 2025. I'm Kevin Zapay, live in Ocean City, Coast TV News.
New at 6, a project to widen Route 90 in Worcester County is back on track. The State Highway Administration recently announced it will begin an environmental study and design work in July of next year. Last September, the project was put on hold due to financial constraints. But in January, funding was partially restored. Ocean City leaders say it's encouraging to see the project once again moving in the right direction.
People in Wicomico County are like, I don't come to Ocean City in season because they're afraid of the traffic. For us to be able to alleviate that and have, better guidance of, hey, here's how long it's really going to take you to get point A to point B, people would love it. I think more people would come.
Still no word on when actual construction will begin on that Worcester County highway.
The Delaware burn ban season starts tomorrow. We drove through Georgetown and Milton today, and a lot of dry grass. You can just see it right there on your screen, and difference in grass color. Denmark says the burn ban is critical to improve air quality. Firefighters say the types of burning allowed in the ban, like campfires, that's okay, such as cooking fires and grills, barbecues, that's also allowed.
Just be mindful of that if you're cooking near a house, siding, vinyl siding, those sort of things are extremely flammable, decks and that sort of thing. So just be mindful of your surroundings and have some means of extinguishment nearby.
For now, the open burn ban is in effect through September 30th. So we've been tracking these conditions, and we continue to track them as we look live into Milford. Our First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams joins us now with a look at our forecast. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, Maddie. And right now, we actually have an elevated fire risk for us. theoretically should stop for tonight, but I'm glad that they're kicking in the burn ban that kicks in for tomorrow, because we'll still have a couple of days of dry weather before the rain arrives to our rescue, okay? So parched and dry conditions expected. We have low humidity in the atmosphere, and with the winds whipping around at 10 to 15 miles per hour, steadily up to 20 mile per hour gusts, that's been a consistent drying out factor of our weather, and that's also been the concern for us. So we have a genuine wildfire threat. So a moderate threat here. So campfires, no. Burnings, outdoor burnings of trash, garbage, or whatever the case may be, no. And obviously no fireworks, because we are just too parched to play around with this. But we do have rain on the way, and that's actually a good thing. Let's talk about how that good thing may hit us over the weekend and perhaps stick around for a few more days in a row. Till then, back to you, Charlie.
Thank you, Paul. New tonight, a child playing with a lighter led to a house fire in Lincoln this morning. You can see the damage from above here. The fire caused an estimated $200,000 in damages. Everybody in the home was able to get out safely. That's important. This fire comes as there's an elevated risk we were just talking about for fire spread in Delaware, just like Paul mentioned.
And we are just getting started this evening.
Still to come tonight, Salisbury women's lacrosse punched its ticket to the conference title game. Highlights from today's semifinal win at home.
And we have some tinderbox temperatures and drying out conditions that can make for a not so great mix, and that's why we have a special weather statement in effect for our area.
But first, from the ground up, Habitat for Humanity helping families lay the foundation for a brighter future in Milford. When we're back in just 60 seconds.
This is Coast TV News at 6.
Finding an affordable place to live is a problem for many people here on the coast and a crisis for others.
As Coast TV News reporter Emma Aiken shows us, Sussex County Habitat for Humanity is trying to tackle that problem in Milford, one home at a time.
A house built from scratch in Milford. Charita Burdell is one of 9 future homeowners who will get a place of their own from the Sussex County Habitat for Humanity. She says this isn't just her dream, but the dream of her 3 kids too.
It's just a wonderful thing to have them have their own space and to grow and be able to walk around and have their dreams come true.
Celebrations were in order Wednesday as the Habitat for Humanity blessed the project.
Amen.
Nonprofit's CEO Kevin Gilmore says finding an affordable place to live is a real struggle.
Well, Milford, like every town in Sussex County and pretty much throughout the country, there's a housing crisis where people just can't afford, a lot of people can't afford to buy houses or even to rent in some cases.
Gilmore says they want to make home ownership a real possibility for everyone.
And the reality is that 1/3 of Sussex counties are spending more than 30% of their income on housing, which means how much money do you have left over after you have your housing costs to do the other things in life that are important?
From wood and walls to wows for people like Burdell.
And then you're looking at your home and you're like, I'm going to be here. I'm going to live here. I'm going to have a dwelling. I'm going to have a place where I can lay my head.
In Milford, Emma Aiken, Coast TV News.
Habitat for Humanity says the 9 homes will span a 3-block radius, including on Macaulay Street and Columbia Street. The area is next to the proposed 27 Riverwalk villas on the Mispillion River. According to Habitat for Humanity, the first 2 of 9 homes will be complete in the next few months, with staggered building following for the others.
Here's a quick look at your Gulf forecast. We're expecting for conditions to stay at least good for us. Hey, we're looking for temperatures in the mid-70s, a mixture of sun and cloud cover. Pretty terrific kind of day. Well, we've had temperatures in the 80s, and they've been very enjoyable, but the lack of precipitation might come back to bite us if we don't get some rain in here soon, because it's so dry and parched throughout the inland areas. Our Irish Eyes camera in Lewis right now holding at 69 degrees. Winds out of the north will drop to 60 even, with a few clouds beginning to feather its way in ever so subtly. Right now it's 70 degrees in Rehoboth, Indian River Inlet, but much warmer inland, 84 degrees as we speak in Redden, 82 in Georgetown and Seaford, 81 in Delmar, as well as Gumboro. The wind's swirling a bit, and that's been part of the drying out factor that's been happening throughout the inland areas throughout Delmarva, so much so that we have a special weather statement for Milford, Georgetown, Bryan Store, Pepperbox, along all of Highway 13, 113, and 9. This special weather statement, which is in effect for the Philadelphia area as well, it's talking about conditions being dry enough where we have concern with any kind of outdoor burning that could get out of control very quickly. So it's unusually dry, even though we're going to get an update on our drought conditions for Thursday. That always happens every Thursday. The cold front's pushing from the north to the south right now. Temperatures expected in the mid-50s tonight with partly cloudy skies and winds out of the east. The winds picking up momentum going into Thursday evening out of the southeast up to 20 miles per hour and then 24 miles per hour. So you see how these winds have been circulating across the Delmarva Peninsula? This has been a steady thing over the last several months. So you combine that with the lack of precipitation, we dry out a little quicker than what we need to. For Thursday, mid-morning, 60s, we'll have cloud cover for Thursday afternoon. But as we go into Friday, notice we go into the mid-70s pretty quickly at 9 o'clock in the morning. Then we peak into the mid-80s, and we'll see spotty showers trying to flare up a bit for us for late Friday afternoon, going to the early evening hours, but not enough that's going to really conquer that precipitation. We need some rain on a steady basis, and by the time we kick into Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, that rain that we are going to need in order to stabilize things will help out. There's a good deal of uncertainty ahead. So upper level low, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, we're going to help bring in some additional moisture coming off the water, and that moisture is going to blossom into widespread scattered showers for the Ohio Valley region and the East Coast. That's a look at Saturday. Rain. Sunday, rain with heavier rain with the darker green indicating that. And then we're going to Monday and Tuesday, we have the close-off low that's going to develop over our neck of the woods, but bring in some additional showers coming in as well. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. When the rain kicks in Saturday, it stays kicked in for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and going into next Wednesday.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Yeah, Salisbury women's lacrosse came into the day as the number 7 team in the nation, and boy did they play like it this afternoon at Siegel Stadium. SU hosting Warren Wilson in the Coast to Coast Conference semifinal, already 9-1 as we start the second quarter. Freshman Amelia Skinner's on the move. She shoots and scores, and the goal's up 10-1. Then the play of the day from Ellery Stamp, leaving her imprint all over this one with the steal on the right, buries her lone goal of the afternoon. Salisbury up by 10. Then it's Olivia Fitzsimmons in attack mode. She stings one off the pipe and in. Throw that stick down. Yeah, it's 12-1. Here's a highlight for Owls goalie Apollo Greaves. One stop, and then the goals with a ground ball. Another shot, that's going to be denied at point-blank range. But then it's Skinner again doing her thing from in tight, bringing the pass down, threatening at 5-hole, 13-1 Seagulls. Later, Salisbury gets the Decatur grad Audrey Mumford involved. She finds Allie Mathis for the finish. Salisbury wins it 23-1. They play for the conference crown on Saturday. That is for sports. Have a great night, everybody.
Taking a look at Ocean City, where it's 71 degrees actually, and we're looking for the temperatures to drop to 64 by 8 o'clock under mostly clear skies. A few late developing clouds by the time we get to the 10 o'clock hour. Our umbrella giveaway winner is Eric Cisneros of Milford. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling. Listen, you keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line. The number to call is 443-880-9100. Your forecast is just a call away. Sponsored by the law offices of Brockstedt, Mandalis, and Federico. And here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. 75 for Thursday. For tomorrow, then we go up 10 degrees and we stay in the 80s going into Saturday as well. It's also when the rain kicks in, and it'll stay kicking in until next Wednesday.
All right, Paul, thank you, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 6.
For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
The NBC Nightly News is up next.
And we're going to see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 11. Have a great evening.